What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you my video settings that I use on my Canon R6 Mark II. These are the settings that I use for everything from client work to travel videos to family videos. So watch until the end because maybe you're gonna find something new that you didn't know about the camera. And yeah, so let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is make sure that we're on the manual dial right here, and that this of course is on the video switch. So the first setting is movie recording size. I choose between 4K 24p or 4K 60p. I used to use light IPB, but I bought my camera because I wanted the perfect video quality. So in this case, I switched back to standard IPB because I want the best quality, you know? Then sound recording. Of course, you want sound recording to be manual, especially if you have a external microphone. The wind filter and the noise reduction, I disable everything. Canon log settings, of course, this is gonna be C-Log 3. You wanna choose C-Log 3. View assist is off because I use false color, and false color needs to have view assist off. So this is why it's off. Characteristic, I don't touch that. And color space is gonna be always Cinema Gamut because it has the best colors. All right, menu number 5, lens aberration correction. Yes, I will put all these settings on. Focus breathing correction, I want to use this. This is really helpful because if you have a subject inside your frame and then you want to focus on something like on a far distance, then your lens is not gonna breathe, like it's not gonna zoom in and out. It's gonna correct itself in the camera, so it's really nice. High ISO, speed, noise reduction, I just leave it at standard. Pre-recording, no, I don't use pre-recording, and movie self-timer neither. Sometimes I will do time-lapse videos, but I need to turn off C-Log 3 to use this. Okay, so image stabilization. Yes, I will use image stabilization, but this one is grayed out because my lens is actually stabilizing the camera. But let's say I disable, you see, now it's off because I disabled it on the lens. It's kind of weird that Canon does that because you cannot only use the image stabilization on the lens and not in the camera. You need to have it both using at the same time. Anyways, digital IS, I will not use this because it crops the image and I don't want that. Yes, you want to have your shutter button half pressed to show the metering only, and fully pressed, of course, you want it to start and stop movie recording. So metering time, I just leave it at 10 minutes. This way, like the metering right here is gonna stay 10 minutes until I press the shutter button again. False color, yes, I use it, but now it's off because I'll show you later. I put this setting on one of a custom button on the camera, and I'm gonna show you later. Zebra settings, sometimes I use zebras, sometimes I use false color, depends on the situation. Okay, this one is good. I will disable 2 of the first ones because I think it's too much information that I don't really need. I'm gonna show you, it's like if you press info 1 time, 2 time, and 3 time, this is what it shows here. Viewfinder, I will disable the second one, but I will leave the third one and the first one. Yes, the grid display, I use this one on 3x3 plus diagonal because of composition. Like sometimes I want to put something right in the center, so this way it helps me to do composition of my image. Histogram, yes, I want a histogram and I want it small because if I put it large, it's too large and it hides some of the image. You see? Whoop. Okay. So the histogram is the thing right here. It helps me to expose my image correctly. Lens info display. This one right here is not really important. I don't use it that often, but this one I found it really useful. It's new on the Canon R6 Mark II. It was not on the Canon R6 Mark I. It shows you the focal length of your lens. Like right now, you can see the 24mm right here. If I zoom a little bit, you see, oh, now at 45, oh, now 61, oh, now 89. Okay, you get the point. It's helpful to have, so I keep it on. Record emphasis. This is really cool also. It's new on the Canon R6 Mark II. I leave it all the time. It shows you like a red overlay when you record, so that way you know that you're recording video. And the last setting here is aspect marker. I leave it at 9:16. That way you see there's like a gray line on both sides here. It can help me to composite my videos if I want to shoot for, let's say, reels or shorts or something like that. Autofocus. Of course, you want to enable movie servo autofocus for movie. And subject detection, I leave it at detect priority. I will switch between one-point autofocus, spot autofocus, and whole area autofocus. I disable all the other options because I don't use it. Subject to detect, of course, it's people. And eye detection, I leave it on auto all the time. And that's it for autofocus. So in menu number 5 on magnification, I use 10 times. That way, it's really nice because if you press on here, this button right here, 2 times, this one is going to be 5 times, and this one is going to be 10 times. So it's really nice to, zoom on something. It's not going to take the picture at 10 times, but it's good to, you want to have the right focus. It's nice to have this option. Also, if you want to zoom on something, let's say you're at 105 millimeters right now, and you want to zoom to, boom, that's like 1,000 millimeter. It's crazy. It's nice to have. It's nice to have. Okay, this setting right here is good to know if you're a new user, that airplane mode should always be on, because I don't know if it does that on the R6 Mark II, but on the R7 that I'm using right now, this camera right here, and on the R6 Mark I, if you leave this off and you close the camera, well, the Bluetooth and the wireless setting is going to drain your battery even if the camera is closed. So I always leave that on unless I want to transfer photos to my phone. I of course put it off. I activate the wireless settings. I transfer the the photos to my phone, and then I put the airplane mode on back again. Okay, the settings for recording photo and video. I use 2 cards inside my camera. I will record video and photo separately. So on the first card is going to be photo, and on the second card it's going to be video. This one, if you're a new user especially, you don't want to have a beep every time you change menu or everything, so just disable that if you don't like the noise. Another setting that is good to have right here is shutter at shutdown. You want to shutter to close when you shut down your camera. So this is where you're gonna set this up. Okay, this one is really good because custom shooting modes, C1, C3, are the dials right here on the top. But if you want to save your settings to C1, C2, C3, this is where you do it. For myself, C1 I use 4K 24p, C2 is 4K 60p, and C3 is like some crazy frame rate. It's really easy to switch to these settings with C1, C2, C3 now. All right, the last menu, customize buttons. MFN button, this button right here on the top, I use it to go in the menu because that way when I look to the viewfinder, I'm not searching for this button, this menu button right here. I have the menu button right here, right next to the shutter button, so it's really easy to go back to the menu instead of like using my other hand to go to the menu. Okay, this button right here, I use it to stop servo autofocus. This is really helpful because let's say right now I'm going to focus on this part of the image. I press here and then the autofocus doesn't work anymore, so it's like on manual focus right now, but it's locked. So if I want to start autofocus again, I just press back on here and now the autofocus works. It's really helpful to have this setting. All right, this button right here is depth of field button. It's the button right in front of the camera next to the lens. You can see it on the picture right here. I use it to enable and disable false colors. So if I click on it, you know, this is enabled now, and I just click on it and it's disabled. All right, the set menu, I use it to change white balance. Not everyone's gonna like this one, I think, but for me, I think it's really helpful because you see, it's really easy now to change white balance. I just press on set because I don't use set that often. I use this one. If I want to, let's say I have this point autofocus, sometimes people will click on set to center it. but I just press on the joystick and it centers my autofocus point. So set is now my way of going to white balance settings. Yes, this one is good to know also, because audio compression, you don't want to have this enabled, because if you have this enabled, it's going to create smaller audio files, which is good, you would think, but also reduces the quality of your audio. So this one, I don't know why, but I think by default it's on. You want to turn that off. It's really important if you want to have good audio. I have never tested it. I never tested it on. I don't know if there's a big difference of quality, but if the file is smaller, that gives me the impression that the audio is going to be lesser of a quality. I don't know. Alright guys, thank you for watching until the end. I hope this video was helpful for someone out there. If it did, I'm really thankful. So please subscribe to my channel, that would be appreciated, and I'll see you on the next video. Alright, bye bye.